Proverbs 13:23. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that is destroyed for want of judgment. Hard work brings profit, but it can be lost by foolish decisions. The poor may labor hard at farming with much increase from their Creator. Their focused labor on a small plot of land bears good reward for their table. But other men, even with some advantages, may squander greater gain by following some harebrained scheme that takes it away. Tillage, as described here, is the tilling and cultivating the land for crops. The return is quite enormous in the amount of grain sown and that which is reaped. One kernel of corn can yield a stalk with 1 ear containing around 80 new kernels. That's an 800% increase. While that sounds enormous, one must remember that the farmer invests in more than corn seed. There is fertilizer and weed spray along with equipment that can be tens of thousands of dollars. None of this is including the initial price of the land or the leasing amount per acre. With these thoughts in mind, we can easily see the truth of this verse. There is much work. Proverbs 12:24 says, "The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute." Proverbs 24:30 says, "I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns and nettles, and had covered the face thereof, and the stone wall thereof was broken down. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man." Well, there's much work in farming, and it cannot be allowed to be slothful. We also find there is discretion as to getting the best yield. Years ago, I had a farmer tell me that the biggest decision he makes every year is the kind of corn seed to buy. Because of genetics, he wanted to buy that which was best for his land and best for the weather. And so one must look ahead and make some very, very important decisions. Farming is one of the most God-dependent occupations there is. He must seek his leadership, the Lord's leadership, in obtaining the necessities of farming, and then depend on God to send the needed rain. Not too much and not too little. This may seem strange, but skepticism is an important part of wisdom. Only the simple believe everything they hear. Only the simple look optimistically at the future. In Proverbs 22:3 it says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." Optimism is not necessarily a virtue, but when applied to business. Pessimism is much safer and financially prudent, as one questions whether it will work or not. How much food is in the tillage of your pastor? Does he give much bread and meat for your soul? How much have you lost by wanting of judgment and reviewing and applying it? Have you squandered much of it by letting it slip away? If you have destroyed his hard work by lazy listening or neglectful application, you will starve. What have you done with his grace? It's your duty to exercise diligence and judgment in putting his grace, marvelous grace of God, into fruitful use and increasing your spiritual estate with fruit, 30-fold, 60-fold, or 100-fold.